What's up, everybody? It's your boy CrazyBase98, aka Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHGCommunity, and this is a little bit of a video of Anthem. This video is going to be in response to a lot of criticism that the game has been getting, especially from like many people who have played the game, many people who actually critique the game from actual from different areas that it was placed at. Now, as a person who likes games like MMOs or like RPG type builds, as a person, I have no problem with Anthem. Now, a lot of people don't feel the same way. A lot of people feel as if it's like bland or in any type of way, or like they didn't like the story, or it feels a little bit empty, based on many different things, like many different styles of NPCs, styles of enemies and everything. Now, with certain critiques of the game, I actually understand, but here's one thing that I have a major issue with. So I'm part of an Anthem group. It's on Facebook, and I'm gonna go ahead and literally shout out the community. If you want to join in, by all means, go ahead. The link will be in the description of this video. Now, my problem with things such as Anthem, or if I must say the community of Anthem, is that we get a lot of people that base the game off of things such as beta or demos, and without even playing the full game. Now, if something like you played the actual story, you didn't like how the story was going, or you didn't like the actual character customization, or you feel like they could add in more to the gameplay, then that's a reasonable response to things like actual critique. Now, here's the thing that kind of throws me off and kind of makes me very upset, especially when it comes to things like certain design and certain people talking about the game or critiquing on the game. Now, what my issue with people critiquing on the game is just that when someone says something is bad design or terrible design, like they actually know about talking or even discussing anything of development of a game or design of a game. Now, I on the different hand have some certain experience. I do actually know about those type of designs. I know about things such as especially the game art. I'm a game artist myself, where in certain things like actually creating a design of a game, 3D sculpting, rigging, especially trying to change the shapes on things such as the Maya program, especially creating things on the Maya program. Now, I have somewhat experience with using those programs, and I see that it's not difficult. It takes time. A lot of people tend to take credit away from that. Now, what my issue about it is that a lot of people critique it in a way just because they just say, oh, we critique it, I paid the $60, I paid the money for their paychecks and everything. Then let me put this in perspective for you. Let's say I talk about someone not doing their job in a certain area where I have no experience in. Let's say I have no experience in retail, and a problem is somebody has a major issue with an item or wants something in return, to return for money. Let's say they want to return an item and they want to get money back. Let's say we're not allowed to do that. Let's say, hey, we are not personally allowed to do that. We'll get in trouble with the company. Let's say that for example. Now, why is it when it comes to stuff like that, people think just because I'm the customer, I pay the $60, people have the right to down talk a company or down talk an area where they know nothing about. What like, it just blows my mind because of that. Now, why it's a major issue for me, especially because it's like me talking about creating a movie, telling the guy face to face that his movie was terrible, not having a proper reason to critique it, and then in return he tells me, "Oh, show me what you would do," and I have nothing to go ahead and show for it. That would literally be a major thing. Now, I understand criticism, but there is such thing as good criticism. Because if you want to go ahead and give feedback for a game to get better, you have to give understandable reasons. Like, as I said, like, people say that the game feels empty, that the NPCs are not doing too much, that there's, like, you know, not too much to the game, and you know what, that's fair. But also, you must understand that this is day one release. Now, on the PC side, they got a week early, which they did not have the day one patch, so that's not really good to go ahead and critique the game when you don't have the full patch of the game. That's one. Two, also the fact that they did not have the day one update. Now, that's another reason why you should not go ahead and critique the game, because you don't have the actual updates that come with it. Even especially with the early week release on the PC area, there were, you know, major things that were not fully put into the game, so that's why they ended up, you know, changing that up. But still, people thought it was okay to critique it off beta and demo. Now, let me give my opinion on this game. My opinion on this game is that I actually do enjoy it. I like the idea that, you know, that things such as flying around, having to be able to traverse certain areas, while the areas look absolutely amazing. The gameplay is amazing. It actually runs through a combo system, especially with me playing as a I was gonna say interpreter, but it's not what this javelin is about. I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but interceptor. Sorry. Like, it's me as playing as an interceptor. Especially, it comes with a great combo system for the ranger, for things such as you know, the Colossus and the Storm. But as I said, like, a lot of people don't tend to look at that. You know, stories like the Heart of the Rage, especially conflict between the main character and certain other characters. Like, I guess people don't take a look at it. Now, I had someone that I'm not gonna name go ahead and tell me that he can critique because of freedom of speech, or critique because, you know, I have every right to critique, and I literally just blocked him off. Let's say I go ahead, as I said, I critique somebody on an area I don't know. Like, let me give another example. Let's say I go to Finn Balor, of the WWE Intercontinental Champion, who has been wrestling for almost probably like 15 plus years. Now, let's say I go ahead, I critique him on what he does. I critique him on, you know, on his wrestling. He asks me where, and he asks me to show him, and then I can't show him. It will literally make him laugh, and he'll be like, "Dude, your critiquing is very bad." Like, if you critique on something, then know what you're talking about. I don't care if it's anybody's freedom of speech. I say this with true honesty. Fuck your freedom of speech. Because at one point, if it's critiquing on an area that you love, especially I am passionate about game design and development, and I give respect to those who actually develop it well. And, you know, you want some actual good, you know, feedback from people to actually make the game better, but you just make it a lot more difficult without giving an actual reasonable critique on it, then it's like, what's the point of even saying anything? I feel as if, like, a lot of people tend to take that idea of, oh, I pay $60 for a game because I want to go ahead and pay $60 for it and now I have a right to critique it. No, you don't. I paid multiple times, like, no, not even multiple times, like $9.99 for a digital copy of Final Fantasy VII. I by hearing other people's opinion from those who watch it, and especially watching it play through or watching a thing through it, I see why people like it, and I see why people understand it. When it came to liking the story or anything of it, I didn't like it because of the fact that it wasn't something that tied to me like all the other Final Fantasy does. You see, that's a proper critique. I don't understand why that's so difficult for others to do. You know, I can't critique on things like, oh, you know, I didn't like the game, like I didn't like the gameplay, or I didn't like anything of how the gameplay moved if I didn't really play it. Like, it makes no sense of why that's a thing, and it takes a lot away from those who like the actual series, and for those who actually want to go ahead and put effort into making the game. And then they won't be able to know what to change if there is bad critique to it. So that's just my area on it. My area, I feel, is if, like, you know, people need to learn to be quiet if they know nothing about it. If I watch the movie fully to the beginning and end, then I can critique it. I could be like, hey, you know what? This movie didn't touch me. I didn't really get that much of like a vibe. Let's say if it's a superhero movie, I didn't get like a superhero vibe from it. But, you know, people are just okay with just like screwing other people over, and especially like doing like other things, like just like messing up a movie or messing up a game just because of like what they experience. If you have a personal experience, then fine. If you don't want the game, if you don't do it, then fine. But if you're gonna say something like, oh, you know what, just hearing from other people without experiencing the game hand to hand, then it's not really worth freaking listening to. Like, I would not listen to you because you listen to others. No, thank you. I would not waste my time doing that. I will listen to those who actually have the game and actually decide to take their time and pay their money to play it. But at one point, it goes back to that issue with, you know, I pay $60 for the game. I can go ahead and talk about it, but it also gets bad to a point where people talk about an area like development, saying that development's terrible. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I can't tell someone that they did a terrible job in an area I know nothing about. If I go to Akira Toriyama and told him, yo, you did terrible on the Dragon Ball Z, and he tells me to show him better, and I can't show him, then that's gonna make me look like a dumbass in the process. And you know what? That's something that I would not even do, especially to like somewhere I don't know anything about the about critiquing or design of that. So that's just my thing on it. Now, here's another thing that I gotta say. A lot of people would not choose to buy this game just because it's an EA game. Now, I'm just thinking of those people. I'm like, what do you want from these people? Like, I understand that, you know, especially EA did absolutely terrible with the Battlefront game, but you cannot hold every other game that comes in the future based on what they did in Battlefront. First of all, EA did not develop this game, BioWare did. And there is so much that you know, a lot of people can do, especially with the developers. There's little say that they have. Now, what my issue is that, as I said, like, people just tend to blame EA where EA is just the developer. People, relax. Like, a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people just want to go ahead and just make it a lot more difficult for people to earn their living and just compare it. Now, here's one thing. A lot of people were just all upset about the microtransactions, thinking that it was going to be microtransactions, but it's actually for things like for not consumables, but I would say like stuff like, you know, like armor, like design, like little things of like, you know, actual like, you know, design of a characters, such as I would say, oh excuse me, like, you know, just like right here, like a helmet or an arm piece or a color or a shine of the actual armor. But you know, people still hate it because of the microtransactions. Now here's my message about that. You have the power to actually think about with your money to a certain extent. If you don't like the company that is doing what they're doing, why would you put more money into the actual company that caused all this issue? That's just a major question of why would you do that to just like literally cause people to like literally degrade the actual company more. EA lost $21 billion literally on Battlefront alone, and yet is still making money on different areas and still publishing multiple different games. Now, as I said, my problem is for certain areas, it just like kills me a lot when people do stuff like that. Now, why I hate it so much is that people have the choice to do that, but they still put in money to those actual areas that they say that they hate. That's why I just think, hey, what are you doing with your money? Are you good with it? Are you like, do you need somebody to check your money for you? Because of the fact that, you know, a lot of people have just been shitting on EA but still put money in for it. Like, so it kind of makes me a little bit angry on that. It kind of makes me very upset with that, and it kind of makes me wonder, why is this gaming community worth listening to? So here's my final thought on actual BioWare's Anthem. Anthem is not too bad of a game. As I said, I give this game a 9 out of 10. One, the story actually drove me to actually want to learn about it. I want to know about the Heart of Rage. I want to know about all the people of the tombs, like all the crazy people of the tombs, all those famous people like Ivenia, like Karif, like all those people, like Artenia, like, and stuff like that. I'm like actually paying attention to the story, which people don't tend to do anymore. I like the actual character design of it, especially with me. I like the red, black, and the grayish look of my armor. I like the helmet of my armor, the arm plates of my armor. I like everything with a combo system. And the game is absolutely beautiful to look at. As I said with a lot of people, I just hate when people critique it on things such as the demo or the beta. Purchase the game. Buy it. Give it a try. If not, you don't like it, then you don't like it, then trade it in. Go ahead, trade it in. Put in some money towards, you know, stuff like stuff like, you know, even brand new games or like amazing games, like I'll give you an example, like put in money for the new God of War, which God of War is pretty good. Or if you like MMORPGs, something like this, put in for Destiny 2, which personally I think this beats the hell out of Destiny 2. Because there were certain things on Destiny 2 I didn't like, but Destiny 2, though, even though it's still a good game in my opinion. How about the next Division game, so you don't have to pay a lot when you do a special edition of it? But people don't tend to do that. People don't tend to listen to that. People don't tend to go ahead and think on that because they think with their rear ends. That's just my major part of it. I played from demo, I played from the open beta where it was a thing, I had people that play closed beta, and I have the game itself. This game, in my opinion, is a straight 9 out of 10. What I said that they could actually do a lot better of, I would say that, you know, I would say that a lot of things in regards to, you know, adding certain areas to like I don't want to just be in a grassland. I want to be in a desert area or a snowy area. Could be added a little bit more, but maybe are gonna be added soon. which like things like it's like a Warframe thing. Like you had Fortuna, and then you had like like another area before that. You had a lot of different places. But with me, I say this is a good game. I say it's worth the $60, and I think it's worth something that you want to do. For those that have been critiquing it completely rear-ended, I don't know what to say to you guys. I honestly say, like, if you think just because you have a freedom of speech to actually critique everything, I say fuck your freedom of speech. I say straight up fuck your freedom of speech, and I'll tell you why straight to your face. A lot of people work hard on video games, even get to a point where they like get divorced, or even end up having to get kicked out, or even going to a point where they go depressed, or they get all upset. Like it was the same. It happened with the guy who did God of War, and the thing is, it was so tiring, and then he ended up getting rewarded at the end. Even to a point, and I'll show you right now, that Warframe, and when I was talking about Fortuna, I was talking about Warframe. Warframe congratulated Anthem on its release. Even Microsoft defended it when the people who were critiquing it terribly were critiquing it terribly. Microsoft defended it, and BioWare also clapped back at it. Just because you pay the $60 doesn't mean you are not eligible for getting a clapback, or you're not being told that you are wrong. So that's my actual opinion on things, like what on people's opinions on this game. That's my response to what people say about Anthem. I'm giving you an actual unbiased idea.
Let's get that back to Corvus.
Because I said things like EA messed up things like like in regards to Battlefront 2, and they've done crazy things to cause a lot of anger towards the gaming community as a whole. But at one point, when they're actually trying to make a difference and trying to make a change here, don't try to take that away from them. Don't try to take it away from the actual developer that's going to make a difference. Especially where BioWare says they will take control of the microtransactions or the prices on everything and have more power to it. Even threatened to leave EA to do so. But as I said, this was my actual opinion of the responses to Anthem. Last time I was trying to do a video with Devontae Jackson on one of the admins of the EHG community. Sadly, I could not, because some of the audio from his actual headset was low. But we're going to do an episode with him once again. But definitely subscribe to the EHG community. Definitely turn on your notifications where we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us at facebook.com/group/EHGCommunity. And also make sure to subscribe to the moderators in the description, and join our Discord channel, which all links are in the description. As I said, I'm part of an Anthem group on Facebook. And if you guys wish to join the community, the link will be in the description. But this is your boy CrazyMaze98, aka Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community, and thank you very much for watching this. As I said, if you want to go ahead and try Anthem for yourself, by all means go to your local game store, like your GameStop, Best Buy, even Amazon, or even download it on Origin or even Steam, and give it one hell of a try.